Hello YouTube and welcome to today's video. In today's video we are going to be talking about how to reset or how to increase your MMR and my personal recommendations for, depending on what elo you're in, what you should be doing in order to basically have better LP gains. So there are 3 different methods and 2 of the methods are free and 1 of them costs money. And I'll basically explain when you should use each one in my opinion. This video is a follow-up video to the many MMR videos I've done in the past. I have one from 2020, almost 2 years ago, how to fix your MMR. This one goes in depth a little bit more. And we also have how to create your own Riot account. Now this how to create your own Riot account has been nerfed since then, but it is still possible to make something similar. And then how can you increase your LP gains from plus 14 to plus 30? And how long does it take to level a League of Legends account from level 1 to level 30? So let's just jump into it. So the first 2 methods are free and everyone can utilize these, and the last one costs money. So the first one is dodging promos. And dodging promos is actually what this video right here, how to increase your LP gains from plus 14 to plus 30. Basically covers more in depth. And basically what happens is when you dodge a game, you lose -3 LP, and then you lose -10 if you dodge within the next 24 hours again, and then it will go to -10 again, and then you have a 12-hour lockout, so then you cannot play for the next 12 hours. But the good thing about this is that your MMR stays the same. So basically what happens is your LP goes down, but your MMR stays the same. And if you do this enough, like if you dodge, what I typically recommend doing is dodging your promos, or yeah, basically dodging your promos about 10, 15, 20 times. And you'll see each time that you dodge your promos, if you just instantly win 1 or 2 games to get back into it, you will get like 1 or 2 more LP for each win. So that means that once you have dodged your promos 5 times and if you consistently win, you will get between 5 and 10 more LP per win for a number of games. So the benefits of this is the fact that you can do this on any account, meaning you can do it on your main account. The thing that's a bit annoying is the fact that it's very, very slow method, especially because 12-hour lockout got introduced for dodging. Basically means that the progress of doing this is even slower. So it will take a couple of weeks, I would say, in order to successfully do this. But after you've done that, then your LP gains are good and you can continue on grinding. So I recommend using this method if you are diamond or above. Because if you're diamond and above, then if you, for example, create a new account, which we'll get into next, then it's gonna take a while to go from unranked to diamond, especially if we're talking high diamond. And you maybe wanna invest those games, instead of doing it from unranked to diamond, you would just invest that into dodging or getting into promos so you can dodge them again. So yeah, if you're diamond above, I recommend dodging promos. And then creating a new account. So as it says right here, if you're between Iron and Plat elo on any region, I recommend getting a new account. And what I recommend is leveling up your own account. I did a video on how long it takes. And basically the key point in this is that you want to be playing normal games. And the reason why is because normal game MMR, the higher you have, the higher normal game MMR you have, the higher you will be placed in your placements. And in order to figure out how good your MMR is, then you go to this website called What Is My MMR, and then it will say here, once you've played normal games, that what is your MMR. So I used to, of this video, recommend getting at least 2.4k MMR in normal, but since then, in Season 12, I've actually changed my opinion. So Normal game MMR doesn't matter as much now. Basically what it changes is where do you get placed at. So if you have a high normal game MMR, you can start like within silver. Whereas if you have a low one, you'll start within bronze. And if you don't have one at all, then you might start like high iron, right? But from my experience, the LP gains are basically more or less the same. The only thing that gets affected is where do you start? Do you start in silver from your first game? Do you start in bronze? Or do you start in iron? This is basically what's get affected by the normal game MMR. And I used to say that, oh, I recommend having at least 2.4k normal game MMR. But actually I would say it's lower now. So I think even if you just have 2.2k, then you'll be doing more than just fine, and you will get plat super easily within a few amount of games. Basically within less than 50 games, you should be able to achieve plat. And I've actually done this very recently, and I found out that my gains are plus 28 and minus 5. I have very recently started to get plus 30, but for the first like 40 wins, or 30-40 wins, I was gaining plus 28 and I was losing 5 LP. But I recently started getting plus 30. So what is good about creating a new account? The thing that's good is that the normal game MMR transitions into ranked, meaning that you're not wasting your time playing these normal games because it is helping you also in your ranked journey. On top of that, it also instant resets your MMR because a fresh account that hasn't played ranked yet basically doesn't have an MMR. Therefore, your MMR is completely fresh. At the LP gains, I also set plus 28 minus 5. What you do need to keep in mind is the fact that you will be put into Smurf queue. And this means that it will become quite a bit difficult, especially if you are a lower elo player, in order to win a whole lot through Smurf queue. But from my experience, with plus 28 and minus 5 LP gains, you can climb even with a bad win rate. Even with a negative win rate, you can actually still climb, and you eventually will get put out of Smurf queue, and then your games will become a lot easier. But the lower elo you are in this elo bracket, iron to plat, be aware that some games will become very, very difficult because you could potentially face some higher elo Smurfs, plat, diamond, masters, whatever. But even if your win rate starts tanking a little bit, it's all good, because that just means that you'll be put out of Smurf queue and your LP gains will maybe go a little bit down, but they will still be high enough that you can potentially skip. So skipping divisions, this basically means that if you are, let's say, silver 4, then after your placements you skip to silver 2. And let's say you are silver 3, then you skip to silver 1. And you're basically going to be skipping throughout all divisions with these LP gains, even if they go down to plus 25. As long as they're plus 25 or above, you'll actually skip divisions. Then on top of that, you won't have to play any promos. So I didn't have to play my silver promo, I didn't have to play my gold promo, and I didn't have to play my platinum promo. So as long as your MMR is high enough, you don't have to play those promos. The only promos you will have to play will be diamond and master if you make it far enough. So yeah, if you are between iron and plat elo, I heavily recommend just creating a new account. The first 50 games will be quite painful and they will be annoying, but after that, if you play, let's say, 300 games in a season, the first 50 games will be annoying, but the next 250 games will feel better than on your old account. The only downside to this is the fact that you don't get to keep your skins and all the personal rewards that you have achieved over the last few seasons on your main account. So you basically have to take a decision. Do you want an account with skins, or do you want an account that has good MMR that can climb to high elo? And most high elo people don't really care about skins, they just care about the MMR, and therefore they go with this option. Now, last thing within creating a new account. This doesn't mean that it should only be iron to plat that can use this strategy. It's actually a lot easier to get to a higher rank from a fresh account than your main account. Meaning that if you are masters and you want to get to grandmasters, it's actually easier for you to do it through a fresh account rather than on a main account. So if you're trying to go for a higher division that you ended last season, then it's easier with a fresh account. But let's say you are a diamond player, you want to get same rank next season, so diamond, you can just play on the diamond account and you will achieve it faster due to the fact that you start higher in your placements on your main account. So even if you're high elo, you can still go for this strategy and it will still work pretty good. Now the last method is a paid method. And the price of it is 40 euros. And for some people that sounds like a lot, for others maybe not as much. And I'll basically explain what it does. So this is what I recommend if you're diamond and above. And if you have bad LP gains or if you did very poorly in your placements, then what you want to do is you want to transfer and then you want to retransfer. You've probably seen an infamous streamer do it. And yeah, basically what you do is you go to the store right here. Then you go to account and then you transfer, costing 20 euros on the US server. You just transfer to a region and then you instantly transfer back. What that does is it resets your MMR and you have to redo your placements. So instead of having to wait a full year for the new season to come so you can play placements and have those good LP gains, you can actually do it for the price of 40 euros whenever you want to. So I recommend doing this if you are diamond or above. And as I said, if you have bad LP gains and you don't feel like dodging, because dodging is a slow way of resetting or increasing your MMR, whereas here, this method costs 40 euros, but it instantly resets your MMR. And you get to do your placements all over again. So this method basically can be done on your main account, so that's a plus. It does cost some money, that's kind of the downside, but it also has an instant effect, simply because that it is paid and you just instantly reset your MMR. So those are basically the 3 methods in Season 12 that you can be using to either increase or reset your MMR. And yeah, if you have any questions for this, then leave it in the comment section down below. And if you enjoyed the video, then remember to leave a like. And if you want to see more content, then feel free to subscribe. And then the last few things are just some general tips. Overall, winning streaks can positively increase your MMR. So let me just type that. Winstreaks can positively affect your MMR. Dodging in general, like basically the reason why you would want to dodge is because you don't think that you have the odds of winning. Basically meaning that you think that there's a higher chance the enemy team will win than your team, looking at team combat, looking if your teammates are autofilled or whatever. That would mean that you would dodge in order to keep a high win rate. And then also high win rates also positively affects your MMR. So those are basically the updates. This is all for Season 12. I have done the new account myself. I've done the dodging promos. The only thing I haven't personally done is transfer plus retransfer, but I've seen other people do it and it does work. So yeah, those are basically the 3 main methods to increase or reset your MMR, and they are basically an update on these videos right here. I will link these 4 videos in the comments section down below or in the description. So if you want to see those, they go into more detail explaining some of these methods. Then yeah, you can check that out. I'll also link this website so that in case you do go for a fresh account, then you can check your MMR through that website. So yeah, that's basically the video. I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope to see you guys in my next YouTube video or on my next live stream on Twitch. And then I just want to say thank you for watching. See you guys.